Sawadee everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I still haven't found my catchphrase, so yeah, but let's just dive right in. Um, we are in Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi Airport. As soon as you step into the main terminal after immigration, you can see this stunning statue of the churning milk of the ocean. It's a depiction of Hindu mythology and represents Thailand's connection to its cultural and spiritual roots. To me, it's a stunning piece of art. If you're not in a rush, please take a second to snap a photo with it. It's completely worth it. As you can see, I just got past the immigration and security, and now I'm in the main transit area of the airport itself. You can see all the display boards are available to give you information on your flights and departures as well. Yeah, quick fun fact. I avoided Bangkok's infamous traffic today by taking the airport rail link from Makasan station. It got me to the airport in exactly 26 minutes. No stress, no traffic jams. It's incredibly affordable if you're heading into the city or coming to or from the airport to Bangkok city, right? It's definitely the way to go. I think the airport railing was launched in 2010, and yeah, it's been making life easier for travelers such as myself ever since. So speaking about like launches, so Suvarnabhumi Airport was launched in 2006. It was supposed to replace the older Don Muang Airport as the city's main international gateway. But I think 6 months later, Don Muang kind of reopened because there was some cracks in the runway at Suvarnabhumi, and until today, it's still very much operational. But it mainly serves budget airlines and domestic routes. So back to Suvarnabhumi. Suvarnabhumi means golden land in Sanskrit, and now it's pronounced Suvarnabhumi, but yeah, most people will refer to it as Suvarnabhumi. Now this place is absolutely massive. It covers around 8,000 hectares. It's one of the largest airports in the world. The single passenger terminal is the fourth largest, I think, globally, with a floor area of around 563,000 square meters. And it's fully equipped to handle A380s. I think there are 8 gates specifically designed for the world's largest passenger plane. So it has a total of 130 gates and the ability to manage 76 flights per hour. So Suvarnabhumi can kind of handle like 60 million passengers annually. So the actual numbers actually often exceed that. And that's why they will eventually have an expansion, but I'll tell you more about that later. Now, one about the best things about this airport is its focus on traveler comfort. Suvarnabhumi has plenty of food options, from international chains to authentic Thai. Now, speaking about Thai food, if you are transiting through Suvarnabhumi, please stop and try pad thai if you have a chance. Wait. Now, the funny fun fact about pad thai is it's actually not a traditional dish. It's not a traditional Thai dish. It was actually introduced in the 1930s as part of a national campaign to promote Thai identity, as well as to wean the public off rice, because there was a rice shortage. I think it was 1930s or 1940s. It was probably during World War II, something like that. The name literally means Thai stir fry, which has its nationalist background in a sense. Its sweet and tangy sauce is made from tamarind paste, fish sauce, and palm sugar. It's unforgettable, so look out for places that serve it fresh. It is a must try, even if you're just transiting through the Suvarnabhumi Airport. Now, if you want to relax, Suvarnabhumi has plenty of lounges, including Thai Airways' famous Royal Orchid Lounge and independent ones like the Miracle Lounge. Whether you're catching up on work, grabbing a snack, or taking a break, these are perfect for long layover. Miracle Lounge is great, and I'll actually explain why soon. So, if you've been on a long flight, you'll appreciate that shower facilities are available in lounges and public areas. So that's the cool thing about this airport is obviously you can shower in the public washroom as well. But um, the only thing I do find a little annoying is since 2019, so this is kind of bad news for smokers. There are no longer any designated smoking rooms throughout the airport. I think it's like an AOT thing, Airports of Thailand policy. So all the airports in all of Thailand no longer have smoking rooms that have a smoking area inside the airport. Now, they are located on level 3, the concourse G, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, I just want to add, I'm not sponsored by them. Um, Maybe I should approach them after this. Ah, so, Suvarnabhumi hosts the world's tallest air traffic control tower. It's almost like a mini skyscraper. It's actually 132 meters, 132.3 meters, 133 meters, something like that. So, yeah, in 2006, that was like a really big deal. Now, if you think that the airport is impressive now, just wait, because as I mentioned earlier, right, there's actually a phase 2 expansion project underway. So this is going to include a new satellite terminal. Once completed, the airport will be able to handle 90 million passengers annually instead. That means more gates, more retail spaces, and hopefully even better facilities for travelers. I do hope that Airports of Thailand introduces back smoking rooms, perhaps make them, non-air conditioned. So, like outdoorsy kind of style. So, you don't have to spend money on air conditioning for that part and cleaning up the air and stuff like that. No, build it with double doors or something. This is just a suggestion, you know what I mean? I feel that people who travel want to be able to relax after a flight. And yeah, man, no hate to smokers, man. I just feel that I used to be a smoker. I would always love to be able to, kind of chill and relax after a flight. So it's always great to be able to have a smoke. I no longer smoke now anyway, but I understand how those people feel. I feel if you want to be a really like amazing destination, you want to make sure it's like really great for everyone, then yeah, I mean, sorry man, why are we discriminating against smokers? Like seriously, is this like, I mean, I just don't get it. I really just don't get it. Yeah, so for those flying budget airlines or domestic routes though, you might end up in Don Muang. You won't necessarily end up in Suvarnabhumi. But it's smaller, but yeah, it can still handle some regional traffic, if I'm not mistaken. Now, going back again to Suvarnabhumi, Suvarnabhumi's layout is technically straightforward. It's one main terminal and then it's divided into two zones. So there's domestic and then there's international flight. And this kind of makes it simple because it's easier to navigate compared to airports with multiple terminals. You just follow the signs and you're good to go. So like now I'm walking, I think 10F or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, F10. And yeah, I'm just walking through the main, airport terminal area. Yeah. So as you can see, like I said, Suvarnabhumi Airport, what I like about it is obviously you can see lovely art and stuff like that, which is really great. So that's a wrap, I guess. It's a world-class facility. you can see all this amazing stuff. And thanks for joining me on this walking tour. If you found this video helpful, I hope you have learned something. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, guys. Safe travels and sawadee kap.